I'm back. In today's report, I'm going to cover the top stories that occurred over the weekend, and there are many. From snowstorm, which provided over a foot of snow, as well as scorching heat, which closed down pools. And the two largest cities in this country, condos, the sales of condos is straight up collapsing. The Liberals' tax cut, oh, what a complete and utter embarrassment. And Metro Vancouver has banned the use of indoor fireplaces. And the Liberals rebranded the Canada national flag, and it got community noted online. What they did is illegal and wrong. News from the United States and much more. And at the end of this report, I went to Portland for a wedding, and instead of watching the vows, I ended up in the hospital. I have a story for you about what happened at the end of the video if you're interested in knowing the story. But don't worry, we could actually laugh about it because I am okay. I will be releasing several videos today because I want to get everybody caught back up since I was away. I think it's better that I break up the videos on subjects. So the next video is going to be Mark Carney landed in Brussels yesterday to help rearm Europe. And the price tag, oh boy, the price tag, up to $250 billion. Video number 2, you're not going to want to miss. Let's get into the show. Let's go. We're going to start things off with, it is official. The House of Commons is on summer holidays. They get 84 consecutive days of holidays after having predominantly the entire year off. They just came back for 4 weeks. That's it. And now they get to bask in the summer sunshine. Oh, it must be so nice. They'll be back on September 15th, and oh, will we be waiting for them? Because the rest of us are most likely working 2 or 3 jobs during the summer holidays just to make ends meet. The government approved C5, that was their last order of business, but watch Melanie Jolie throw confetti because she is so excited for 12 weeks summer holiday.
306, 306. Nays compte, 31, 31.
I declare part 2, including the schedule, carried. The House has agreed to the entirety of Bill C5 and Act to enact the Free Trade and Labour Mobility in Canada Act and the Building Canada Act at the 3rd reading stage.
Must be nice to get 12 weeks holiday. That's why the confetti is getting thrown everywhere, because now we don't get to see them until September 15th. Here is Alberta on Saturday, the first day of summer.
First day of summer in Alberta.
Yeah, and many places got almost or exceeded a full foot of snow the first day of summer. And here's the headline: Alberta slammed by summer snow with up to 30 centimeters forecasted. One more because it's so beautiful. But one thing I noticed, that mainstream media, you might be the first person to know that it snowed in Alberta watching my video, because it was not on mainstream media. Instead, they focused on my next story. And you're not going to believe this story. The pools across Toronto closed. And why? It's because it was too hot. Every year there's a heat wave in the city. You would think they would be prepared for it. But instead of being prepared, what they did is shut them all down. So all the kids, they can look through fences at this beautiful, cool pool to provide them relief from the heat, but instead they could see the pool through the fence and they could not jump in to cool down with a humidex close to 40 degrees Celsius. Imagine you waited all year for the summer heat so that you could jump in the pool with your children. Well, only in the city of Toronto would swimming pools be closed because it's too hot. I wonder what they do in Las Vegas when they regularly get temperatures close to 50 Celsius. Would they close their pools because it's too hot? I don't think so. Here we got Doug Ford explaining why there's some pools that are closed and some are not. It was Olivia Chow's call.
The actual statement from the mayor. You want me to read it? A few pools were ordered to close last night by Ministry of Labor because of concerns for the lifeguards. By 5:30 p.m., only 5 pools were closed out of 85. Lifeguards are allowed to swim to cool off, so I don't understand the ministry's rules. That's from Olivia Chow.
Yeah, it's ironic. Why weren't all of them closed then? If they're just picking and choosing 5, I'll dig into it and find out why weren't the balance of them closed. That, I don't know. It sounds like a poor excuse, but here nor there, they should have the pools open, and we appreciate the lifeguards. And like you said, they can cool down, they can go swimming, and they should be open. So I'll find out.
Are you able to mandate to the city that they keep the pools open when it's hot like this? It's predicted to be 36 today.
So I got to tell you, I'm just reading this. She's citing guidelines, but no labor inspector, etc., came in and shut them down. So there's your answer. I just got a message right now saying that. So maybe she's citing it and she's determining which pools are opening and which ones are closing. But that's what she's doing.
Well, we've got a problem here because she's pointing at you and you're pointing at her.
Well, no, I'm not pointing at her because I really like the mayor. I'm just explaining that there was no Minister of Labor inspector that called up and said shut down.
Unbelievable, Canada. Do you see Olivia Chow? I mean, who voted for Olivia Chow? It seems like on a weekly basis, she's hitting the front page for something that you're scratching your head going, why? Just why? For example, her saying, yay, we're going to be offering senior citizens shipping containers. Oh yeah, beautiful shipping containers for seniors. Metro Vancouver is ordering that you need to register your indoor wood burning appliances. This refers to either you cooking with wood in order to heat your food, or if you're burning wood in a fireplace for heat and enjoyment. Let's take a look at this article because I didn't believe it when I first heard it because it sounds absolutely absurd. When we go down here, it looks like they're going to be applying fines of up to $500 if you are found to be burning wood in your wood appliances. But they use wood appliances. What they're saying is burning wood in your fireplace. You have to register with the government in order to continue to use them. But you're not going to believe this. Beginning on September 15th, owners and operators of such appliances must register and use best practice. But guess what they want you to do? Ensure that emissions from this fireplace does not exceed 20 minutes for every 4-hour period. Imagine you started a fire and just ran it for 20 minutes, then had to what? Pour water on it to turn it out? This does not make any sense. Most fires burn for like 2 hours once you light it. And they say only clean, seasoned wood, no tossing garbage into the flames. Well, that one makes sense. And here they define this wood burning appliances. It can be defined as fireplaces or wood stove that burn or is capable of burning fuel to produce heat in indoor spaces or for aesthetic enjoyment. Metro Vancouver has made it clear that unregistered devices will be prohibited from operation except for during emergencies or if the devices are the sole sources of heat. That means that every single person in the greater Metro Vancouver area will not be able to burn any wood whatsoever, because as if they could keep the smoke emissions to 20 minutes. It's not realistic. Basically, what this is a wood burning ban. Now, why are they doing this? Because they said Metro Vancouver's justified the decision to regulate residential indoor wood burning appliances by pointing out that this is the single largest contributor to harmful particulate emissions in Metro Vancouver region. I don't know if any of you out there live in the Metro Vancouver area, but during the month of November all the way to April, we have rainstorm after rainstorm, included with wind, lots of wind. So if you're burning your 2 pieces of wood, it's blowing away. There's no fine particulate matter whatsoever. So this, in my opinion, is to control what you do to enjoy your life. You can't enjoy your life in Metro Vancouver. They want to make sure that you can't have a wonderful fire with your children. This is absolutely absurd. And I want to make it very clear to people. First, they go after your fire. Then they go after your water usage. They're going to start saying you could only shower between the hours of 10 p.m. and 11 p.m. on Friday nights because we need to conserve water. We're using way too much. You just wait. They start with this and then they go after your shower. Remember that wonderful tax break that they were telling us about? Well, the PBO just came out and crunched the numbers. The PBO is the Parliamentary Budget Officer. And with their numbers, the average Canadian will be saving $90 a year. That's $7.50 a month. Low-income seniors only $50 or $4.16 a month. High-income earner seniors, $330 a year. And elderly couples earning $260,000 in income, $680 a year. I don't know about you, but that's like nothing. That doesn't do anything. We currently have inflation that's going to gobble this thing up within a week. Yeah. What a complete embarrassment. I thought this one was pretty funny. Breaking, and this is relates to the Bill C-5. The government's One Canada Economy Act just passed in the House of Commons. It's crucial in our work to eliminate trade barriers and speed up nation-building projects and build the strongest economy in the G7. Do you honestly believe that Canada will be the strongest growing economy in the G7? I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments section. I have my doubts. This next story, you're honestly going to believe it's fake, but it is far from fake. This is the official social media page for our government, Canada. Great check mark on their Twitter X account. This is the official page for the Canadian government. And we go down and look at what they posted. In Canada, we know that diversity is our strength. We love to celebrate it. This Being You Day, let's be a reminder to be authentically yourself and celebrate all the things that make you, you. And they provided this Canada flag that has been completely revamped. And get this, they have turned off, right here, they've turned off their comment section. You can't make this up. They got 1.1 million views. And they don't allow anybody to write anything. They turned it off. And this is a straight up disrespect of the flag. And get this. If you see on June 18th, I wrote, Canada is working on a new flag because the old one stood for tradition, unity, and national pride. And we can't have any of that in this country. So I posted this flag is what I believed Canada would revamp our flag. And lo and behold, Mark Carney did a press conference in which he had the Canada leaf like this. And I said, I told you guys they were changing the flag. This was last week. And then here we are today. I warned everybody last week this was going to happen. Today, it became official. That's why everybody follows me on my Twitter X channel, because I'm breaking news stories way before they're even made public. And Lions Advocate posted this, and this is unbelievable. The government of Canada got community noted for violating its own do's and don'ts. This is a sad day for Canada. Check this out. The Government of Canada's website states the national flag of Canada should not be written on or marked in any way, nor be covered by other objects. Unbelievable. The do's and don'ts they broke. The two largest cities in this country, condo sales have plummeted in Toronto and Vancouver, but more resilient elsewhere. So these two markets, though, wow. Condos in Toronto have fallen 75%. That's hard to understand, 75%. And in Vancouver, they're down 37%. But here's the thing. Nothing supports the sales to rebound. We still have interest rates that are above 4% for the people that are purchasing. And we also have immigration numbers that are actually coming down. Our population has flatlined right now. No one's going to be entering these markets. Now, this is explosive. The Secretary of U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, exposes Justin Trudeau and the Liberals' incompetence. You are not going to believe this.
You is that the former Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, was a train wreck. He was a train wreck and he was hard to work with for. I worked with him previously and in trying to build relationships with Canada so that we knew who was crossing our border, asking them to take back their citizens that were illegal here in this country. He was very hard to work with. He talked about to President Trump about setting up a fentanyl czar so we could deal with the drug issue, but wasn't willing to share criminal background information on individuals with us, wasn't willing to allow us access to some of their data systems that would tell us really who was trafficking a lot of the drugs, the cocaine, the fentanyl that was killing our children.
Holy crap. I wasn't prepared for this. I knew it was bad, but this is like, boom, the mind is gone. That's it for this report. Stay tuned for number 2. Mark Carney is in Europe, and the information I'm about to provide you, and I'm going to release it today, it's just going to blow your mind. Now, for all the people that are interested in my story about my travels to Portland, here we go. Many of you probably never see me before with glasses. It's because it gives me a headache, the frame pushing on the sides. I wear daily disposable contacts. That is where the story begins. I was laying in my room for a nap before the wedding, and an hour before the wedding, I woke up and I said, man, you know when you go to hotel rooms, the air is super dry. Plus, I normally don't take naps, and I napped with my contacts in. So when I woke up, my eyes were dry as hell. I'm like, I need some moisture and I need it now. So I ran to the washroom and I asked my wife, I said, hey, where are the drops? She's like, oh, they're just on the counter. So I grabbed from the counter this mini bottle that looked exactly like the mini bottle that I have for moisture. And I proceeded on putting the drops in my eye. Oh, big mistake. The drops that I put in my eye were super glue made for nails, and it instantaneously hardened in my eye. And you know when you feel the pain and you're like, uh-oh, what the hell was that? So my eye shut as hard as it could, and it immediately glued together. I actually could not see out of that eye, and I was freaking out, not knowing what to do. So I ran my eye under lukewarm water for 15 minutes, and I proceeded to slowly peel the eye open, but it wasn't peeling open freely. I had to literally rip it open. And then I took my contact that was still in my eye, and now it was covered in super glue, and I peeled the contact out. When I looked at the contact, it was covered in glue. And so were my eyelashes. And I'm like, holy crap. My eye was completely red. And I'm like, yeah, I need to go straight to the hospital here because this is my eye we're talking about. So the wedding was an hour from that time. And I just went straight to the hospital. So I missed the vows. I missed the dinner. But the hospital, let's talk about the hospital in the US. That was by far the best experience I've ever had in a hospital in my life. The second I walked in, they walked me directly to the back. A nurse was standing there. A doctor flew in right away, and they provided me care instantaneous. I didn't have to wait for anything. Also, I didn't see any other patients at all, not one. And the doctor and the nurse stood by me the entire time. They put this contact lens inside my eye and they put saline drop for 30 minutes and just cleared out all of the debris and everything that was in the eye. They did a pH test and the pH was off before they started the saline solution. And then when it was done, my pH regulated, which was perfect. And what they said to me, they're like, are you in a rush for something? I said, yeah, I drove all the way from Vancouver, all the way to see my cousin get married. And now I'm sitting here. So they rushed. They're like, yeah, we're going to package you up and send you on your way. I actually was able to make past the dinner. I was able to make the reception, which was great. I was there for 2 hours. I went back to my hotel and rested. Obviously, I had a terrible day. But for all the people out there that are saying, how could this even happen? It's a lot easier than you think. Check out the actual bottle compared to the glue bottle. Yeah, when you're tired and your eyes are blurry because they're dry, and you have no idea that your wife has something called super glue for your nails. I had no idea she had this little bottle. It should be, it's actually, I call it a danger bottle. It says kiss on it. It's the kiss of death. Anyway, I'm doing all right. My eye's actually done really well. It's almost fully healed, I feel. I am seeing a specialist to make sure everything's good. But I'll be wearing glasses, obviously, for a week so that it fully heals. And now I have a pretty hilarious story to talk about. I have to say, those hospitals in the US are next level. I'm sure I'm going to get a massive bill, but don't worry, I have insurance and that's what it's for. Anyway, stay tuned for number 2 video today. I'll see you on the next report.